Special thanks to April over at Forged Aprons. There will be a link to her website and to her Facebook page in the description of this video, and you can take a look and see just what a proper blacksmith's apron is. In the 12th century, when the legendary castle CAMELOT, the most impressive example of craftsmanship in its day, was completed, King Arthur announced a feast to honor the craftsmen who had constructed the castle. On the eve of the feast, the craftsmen all gathered excitedly in the great hall. As they waited to be seated, a squabble broke out among them as to who should have the honor of sitting at the king's right hand. The king judiciously decreed that the greatest craftsman among them would be given the honor. He instructed each of them to share a bit about their contributions to the castle. Then he would decide who made the greatest contribution. The first to speak was the goldsmith.
It was I who created the exquisite platters that we are preparing to eat from, and the goblets that hold your drink.
King Arthur praised the goldsmith for the quality of his workmanship, and thanked him for his contribution to the palace. A blacksmith quietly joined the group of craftsmen, as the tailor, who was dressed in exotic clothing and spoke with confidence and poise, said, "There is not a room in your fine castle, my lord, which does not have my tapestries adorning the walls, my luxurious drapes hanging over the windows, or fine linens spread on the tables and beds. Why, I even made the fine robes that you yourself are wearing." That garnered a hearty laugh from all. King Arthur thanked him for his fine workmanship and a job well done. And so, around the room, each of the master craftsmen described the contributions they and their crews had made to the castle, followed by the king graciously thanking them and praising their work until the blacksmith was the only one left. Among themselves, the craftsmen agreed that the tailor was the winner, due to his vast array of work, his fine dress, and eloquent manner of speech. So when the blacksmith spoke, they hardly paid any attention. Had they listened, they would have noticed that the blacksmith didn't mention the intricate chandeliers or massive decorative fireplace screens in every room that he had forged. Nor was there any mention of the ornate hinges, sturdy table bases, or snugly fit handrails. In fact, the blacksmith's only words were quietly and humbly stated, "The most of my work, sire, was in making the tools for the other craftsmen," to which the king thanked and praised him for his contributions. The king looked over the group thoughtfully for several long minutes and then proclaimed, "Blacksmith, by your hammer and hand all crafts do stand. You made everyone else's contributions possible. You shall be seated at my right hand." The smith had come to the banquet straight from the forge, so he was covered in soot and still wearing his apron. He tried to beg off, but the king insisted he take his seat of honor. So the blacksmith quickly rushed to the cloakroom, hung his apron, washed up, straightened his clothes, and took his place beside the king. All of the craftsmen were a little bit shocked at the king's decision, but there was a feast to enjoy, so they busied themselves with celebrating. All except the tailor, who felt that he had been robbed of the honor, so while the others were busy enjoying the feast, he snuck off to the cloakroom. With scissors in hand, he cut a fringe into the blacksmith's apron to serve as a reminder that it was he, the tailor, who made the smith's apron. Upon leaving the feast, the smith noticed the fringe and immediately knew who put it there. Instead of being angry or feeling chastened, the blacksmith felt honored. For ever after, whenever someone inquired about the fringe on his apron, the blacksmith would exclaim with delight, "Ah, yes! The tailor placed this fringe here in recognition of my services to all the craftsmen in the kingdom." Which is why, to this day, a blacksmith's apron should feature a small section of fringe, so that all may know that blacksmiths are the kings of craftsmen.
Well, you're still here. It's over. Go home. Well, I guess since you won't go away, I'll take this moment to thank my fantastic and wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. I love you long time. Over here you'll find a couple of videos I've done. This one is my most recent upload, and this one is one that YouTube has decided via its algorithms that you might enjoy. We all know how wonderful and fantastic and perfect YouTube's algorithms are, so I'm sure you have nothing to fear. Well, good luck.